Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Here's your virtual racing network. As you can see, tonight we are under the lights here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for what is set to be another great race here on the channel. This is the Northwest Xfinity Series, and we currently have 24 drivers that have made their way to the track, and it is looking like it's going to be a very good night. We'll see. We have had a little talk that we were hearing through radio chatter about this setup being a little tight, so turn 4 wall could be an issue here tonight. But before we get into all of the racing details and point standings and all that good stuff, it is time to thank all of the partners that have come on board here for this race. On the racing side of things themselves, of course, here on VRN ourselves, we are one of the sponsors for this series. So we are glad to be here for the Northwest Xfinity Series and their Truck Series as well, covering all your action here from the pre-show all the way to the post-show and everything in between. And of course, doubling down sponsor here on the broadcast and on the racing side of things, that is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm for all your beard needs. If you have a beard out there, gentlemen, you need to take care of it. There is no better way to do so than with some of that Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm, all natural and organic products. Make sure you head on over to wallsbeardco.com to pick some of that product up today. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for button boxes and e-brakes for you rallycross racers. So make sure, if you're an iRacer, these are 2 must-need items here. Put them on your bucket list and go get them. Custom-made button boxes that you can bind to just about anything on iRacing. And those e-brakes for you rallycross racers with an ever-expanding list of rallycross tracks. It is a must for sure. Go to SimSpeedShop.com to pick them up. Northwest Racing Series, well, that's the series we're covering here tonight. They are a proud sponsor here of VRN. They are the official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race. So every time, or one time here tonight, if we're doing dirt, you just hit more than once. But tonight, when you see the white flag waving, it is presented by Northwest Racing Series. Ohio IndyCar League, if you're looking to get to IndyCar racing your life, there is no better place to do it than Ohio IndyCar League. You can get all the latest information on their league at facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphic source. And if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just looking to get some new overlays for your broadcasting, or on the other side, if you're just looking to stream and need some overlays to pull information from iRacing, you can get a hold of Jason Allison over at ibog.co to get started. And here in just a minute, we will have a pre-race interview. That pre-race interview is presented by Randy's Wraps here for tonight's race. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're talking to at least one driver to get their thoughts on tonight's race. Again, if you're also looking for a paint job, that is one of the best ways to stand out here on iRacing. Go to Facebook and look up Randy's Wraps and get you a really nice paint job for a really great price. That being said, here it is time to find us a driver to talk to here for the pre-race show. Let's see who we're going to get in here. We got Andy Vogt. That is third fastest. We talked to Jeff Stabnow quite a bit here. AJ Williamson, a new driver here that we do not have a way to communicate with. So we are unable to get a hold of him. However, we can get Andy Vogt. So let's pull Andy Vogt up here real quick and get a quick word in with him. Andy Vogt, you got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, we got here, we talked to Jeff quite a bit sometimes. We don't have AJ here, but we do have you third fastest here in practice. So, first off, here in practice, since you are third fastest, just give us a rundown of how this car is handling and what we can expect fuel and tire-wise from your practice here.
Well, from what I'm seeing here so far, looks like we can get roughly 38 laps or thereabout on the fuel. The tires, I'm pretty sure we're going to be screaming for tires somewhere around about the 10-15 lap stage. It really starts to eat up that front right pretty quick if you're not careful. As far as how the track feels in the car, with this fixed setup, it's kind of feels like a snowplow in a way. Not as bad as some of the previous setups that I've ever run on here, but it still has a tendency of pushing if you're not careful going in and out of the corners. You need to make sure that you're getting out of that throttle, coasting part of the corner, and don't get back into it too early, especially on turn 4, because it's going to have a tendency of eating vehicles if they get into the throttle too soon.
Well, definitely going to be an interesting night here. If you had to pick a corner that's probably going to be, we like to refer to as the problem child, the spot that's going to get people, what turn would that be, or would it be more into the tri-oval?
It's going to be that turn 4 that's going to eat the most people up, and I think it's going to be because they're trying to attempt to pass, and they're just going to get into the throttle too early, collect themselves, possibly collect somebody else with them.
Well, hopefully that does not happen to too many people. Hopefully it doesn't happen to yourself here. But we wanted to pull you up here, get a quick word in with you here for the pre-race show. Again, that is presented by Randy's Wraps. And speaking of sponsors and partners here, do you have any on the car and anyone you would just want to give a shout out to out in chat?
Well, we've got to give a shout out to our primary sponsor tonight, Walls Beard Co. And you guys up there in the booth. Without you broadcasting, we don't get to have this fun of going back and watching it, and we don't get to have people watching us. So definitely giving a shout out to both you and Walls Beard Co.
All right. Well, again, hopefully, maybe we'll see you in the booth later on tonight after this race for the post-race show. And good luck, and we'll see you there.
All right. Thanks, Charles.
All right. Again, that was the 10 of Andy Vogt, who will be out here racing tonight. We, again, have 24 drivers that have made the trip here to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to see who is going to stack up where. We got about 14 minutes left on the clock, as you can see, countdown to qualifying coming up. While we have a minute here, let's go ahead and go over some of the race analysts here for tonight's race. As we've already established, your tire window going to be about 10 to 15 laps. It's a very interesting tire window here for these cars. 10 to 15 laps, and these tires are completely shot. However, when you get to about 20 to 22 laps, those tires kind of rebound themselves and come back to life. You won't have the speed, but the car will be a little bit easier to handle. So we're going to watch probably somewhere between 15 and 20 is where we're going to see most of our cautions, I think, on a stint anyway. Fuel window 35 to 38 laps. We know they can get to 38. It's going to be borderline, so I think we'll see more people come in 36, 37, probably around the 37 range more likely. Pit road 55 miles per hour. Wind 2 miles per hour out of the north, partly cloudy here tonight. Excuse me. 78 degree air temp with an 80 degree track temp. That will fluctuate here tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that, whether it goes up or down compared to where we start. So 80 degrees right now, I'm sure we'll get up to at least 82, 83 degrees. We'll be keeping an eye on that. The more cars on the track, the more that will go up. 100 laps here tonight. 150 miles is what we have on the books to go. So we'll see who will make it all the way and who will come away victorious here tonight for the third race of the season. And we'll be getting into that a little bit more here in a little bit. As right now, Chris White has a win. He is locked into the chase per se. He's not officially locked in. We'll go over that more as well. And Josh Coley has a win. He is unofficially locked into the points. Again, that will come a little bit later. We'll explain more on that. We are going to step away here one time very quickly here. And we are going to get some last minute stuff taken care of. And we will be right back. And yes, this is live, Avery. It is not pre-recorded. So it is live indeed. But we will be right back here in just a few moments. We're going to get those point standings ready. And we'll go through your top 20 here in the point standings in just a few moments. All right, we are back. We have our point standings ready to pull up here as we are, of course, in a practice still here at the moment. There are your point standings, your top 20 anyway, presented by ourselves, VRN. What you want to note here is you see those two names in red. The red names indicate they do have a win. However, it does not necessarily mean they are 100% locked in. In order to for those wins to count to move forward in the chase and it be considered locked in, you cannot miss more than 3 races and you have to be in the top 16 in points. That is how that works. Again, you have to be in the top 16 in points. You cannot miss more than 3 races. So again, they have to very carefully make sure they don't miss any races. But based on points right now, your leader is Josh Coley by 4 points. He has 87 points right now. And again, Mark Walls has 83 points. So again, a 4-point difference there. Should be a very good battle. Jeff Stad now 82 points, 5 points out. And third and fourth place is going to be Brian Barnes, 80 points, 7 points out. And your other winner here in this series, in fifth place, that is Chris White with 77 points, 10 points out. Just to run through your other top 10 here. So James Thurston, Andy Vogt, James Paulson, Corey Walters, and John Ottenbacher will round out your top 10. 11th through 20th in this order. You can see them on your screen. Chris Sherburne, Gary Nichols, Frank Harris, Scott Mann, Brett Johnson, Ray Fournier, Tyler Howard, William Fletcher, Howard Wendell, and Ryan Means. Those are your top 20 in the points for now. We'll leave those up here just for a minute so you can get a good look at them as we have about 8.5 minutes left to go. And to answer the question, Avery, we do not turn Super Chat on just because we run everything through PayPal for business reasons. So we don't want it going through bank accounts and stuff like that. We prefer it to run through our business PayPal, so that is why we have it that way. So we do have a notification. We get notified if anybody does any donations, anything like that, via email. But so yeah, we do not turn that on just for reasons we like it to go through PayPal to keep everything nice and tidy. That being said, though, we'll leave those points up just for a few more moments. Again, that was your top 20 in the point standings right now. Go ahead and get rid of those and cut up your countdown to qualifying back up on the screen. We have just under 8 minutes to go. We're going to find another driver here, see if we can't get a quick interview in, and we will be right back. All right, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, and we've actually left the booth. We're down here on trackside with White Knuckle Racing here, as we do have one of our past and last week's winner. I do believe Josh Coley. I believe that's. I know you have a win, and it was indeed last week. So we're down here with you, and we have a new driver here, AJ Williamson. So first off, Josh, we're going to talk to both of you real quick. Give us your thoughts on tonight's track conditions, the air temp or the track temp and all that, and then we'll ask AJ the same question.
The car gets a little tight. You got to be careful on corner exit. I think you'll see a lot of people brushing the wall or getting real close to it anyway. But I feel good about it, man. I hope it goes well.
All right, and AJ, what are your thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, my thoughts are about the same. The track's gets tight real quick, so you got to be easy with the car early, and like you said, stay away from that turn 4 wall.
Well, again, we want to keep over here. We're switch. We're going to keep with you here, AJ. This is your first race here with this series. You plan on keep coming back every week here? Is obviously you're up there practicing and with the some of the fastest drivers here, currently second in practice. So, are you here to give them a run for their money?
Yeah, I do. After seeing how well I'm running tonight, I'm definitely going to be coming back.
Well, definitely, we're glad to have you here, and hopefully you will be coming back more and more. I got 25 drivers here. That probably won't be too big of an issue for you here. Of course, you're second fastest with a 29.3 at 26. But overall, just in general, just sum up how practice has gone so far, and obviously you expect good things here. And are you going to be working with Josh here since he invited you in here?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking it easy on Josh since he invited me in here. I expect it to be going pretty well. I'm just going to take it easy on the beginning and get to the middle of the race and then let it fly.
All right, well, we'll go start with you, and then Josh, right after, we'll go to you. Any quick shout-outs you want to give for anyone out there watching? I know it looks like, AJ, you guys are a fan out there in chat.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my buddies on my Legends Car race team. Thank my main sponsor, Bob Kimmer, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, and Josh, I know you got some shout-outs you want to give.
Yeah, of course, I'd like to thank VRN. The broadcasts are always second to none. Then Wallace Beard is the sponsor of the series, so got to appreciate them. I got Advanced Synthetic Lubes on the car and competition carburetors this week, so I hope to represent well for those guys.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll give you a big congrats to y'all later. Maybe we'll see you both in the top 3. You can get a 1-2 finish there tonight. We'll see. But different here. I will catch y'all later. Hopefully, I'm actually going to make the trip back up to the booth as I actually came down to y'all. So we'll catch y'all here in a little bit.
Thanks, Charles.
All right, so we are back in the booth. I love the power of virtual racing here, as it doesn't take any time to get back to the booth. We have 3 minutes on the clock as we are winding down time before we get to qualifying. We'll see. Again, 25 drivers have made the trek. How many of those will finish this race here? Will we have a big caution? I don't think we're going to have too many cautions here tonight. I think it's going to be fairly cut and dry. We'll see how much battling we have going on. How many battles we have going on the track, I think, is really going to determine how many cautions we have. So we will definitely be waiting to see that as Scott Mann's going to go through the grass there a little bit. But how many cautions we have, I think, will be determining on how many people get into that outside wall in turn 4. Past turn 1, you really have to be careful about turn 1 because of the fact that if you get in there too hot and too low, you could very easily spin this car out. So 2 different turns, both of them happen to be in the tri-oval area, so we're going to be watching those very, very closely. But we are going to step away here for the last time. When we come back, it will be qualifying as we're going to step away to the National Anthem. And right after the National Anthem, we'll be qualifying. So we'll be right back with that.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we are back, and it is dead silent on the track as nobody's come out yet. But it looks like Jason Berg is sitting at the end of pit road. He is a new driver we have not seen before in that 21. So we're going to go ahead and pull up your driver bar here for tonight. And they got a Ford Mustang and Snap-on number 21 pulling out onto the track. It looks like William Fletcher and Mike Peterson are going to pull that onto the track as well. So we got a lot of drivers rolling out to get things started here. We'll see where everybody stacks up here in just a little bit as everyone is getting ready to get out onto the track. Looks like everyone on TeamSpeak side of things is getting into their race channels, getting strapped in, ready to go. And as soon as we see some times coming in, we will go ahead and put your times up on the board. We'll zoom out here just a little bit so you can get a better view. Into the outside wall. That's what we were afraid of. That lap is not going to count, so we're going to switch over here to a few other people. There's James Thurston in the 5 machine here tonight. Normally the 2, but he will be the 2 from now on. That is just a temporary number as a new driver snuck in with the number 2 here for tonight's race. We'll see. Right now, nobody has completed an actual lap. We'll see there again, as you might have read in the chat there for YouTube. We have some big plans here, having to redo the overlays here a little bit in order to accomplish some of the stuff we want to do. All right, and we're getting words here as only one driver has put in a time here as Jason Berg, almost 6,000 I rating. He is going to be someone to look out for. We'll see if that 6,000 I rating plays off for him here as everyone's getting into the wall here in qualifying. That is not what they expected to see here, as it's going to get very interesting to see who finishes where. John Ottenbacher taking it to the top with a very fast time of 29.546, and there goes Mark Walls with a 29.277. He will top him here just by 0.269, and Devote going to jump to third. We're going to go ahead and pull up your qualifying times, as it's not going to be many on the screen there that have actually put in a time so far, as there's your top 20 times. But so far, not everyone has put in a time. Corey Walters out on the track right now in that number 9 machine, but still just not very many here. We've had a few get into the outside wall, so this could very well pose a problem here tonight. That outside wall could be very dangerous. Jeff is actually, it's going to be just me here in the booth. Kamikaze, Jeff is actually racing here tonight, as he has yet to come out onto the track that we can see, as we'll keep an eye on him. James Thurston back out on the track. He is there. There is Jeff Stabnow right there. Kamikaze, he will not be in the booth tonight, as he is actually on the track racing. This is his league. So he is actually behind the wheel racing. He's about to put in a fast time of 29.206. He will actually take it to the top of the charts here in qualifying. A.J. Williamson right now coming out onto the track. He has not put in a time just yet. So that is somebody we are going to be watching here tonight. We'll see how he does. He's a new driver as well. We got Brian Barnes sitting at the end of pit road. Brandon Peters sitting at the end of pit road. James Thurston on the track still has not put any time just yet. A.J. Williamson, though, is who we're watching, and he is trying to put in his first lap. As we'll get up close and personal with that machine there, that number 2. And we'll see what kind of time he's going to put in. Yeah, Jason, we tried that one day, trying to put it in 4K, and the graphics actually don't look too bad in 4K, but boy, are they laggy as all get out. As A.J. Williamson going to put in a time of a 29.248 to put himself in second place here. Again, only 7 drivers have put in times right now. We're going to go to Brett Johnson in the 7. He is out on the track, as well as Corey Walters in the 9. So a few drivers out there. Sean Brightsman out as well, so we'll check in with him in that number 46 Toyota Camry. See what kind of time he is going to put in here. Definitely some good times so far been put in, but there's still a ton of drivers that have not taken times that I expect to see come out here. Gerald Heffley is out on the track right now, so we'll see what kind of time he can put in. But again, over half this field has not put in any time here. They got 4 minutes to do so. They have plenty of time to get around this track, so we'll see. Sean Brightsman going to put in a 29.459 to put himself in 4th place. So right now, you have out of your top 5, 3 of them are from the same team. So this could get interesting. Shaking it up here is going to be Brett Johnson and A.J. Williamson. Yeah, right in the mix of things here. Let's go back. Let's go to Chris White. He has not come out on the track until just now in that Chevrolet Camaro SimStar Motorsports. We'll see what kind of times he can put in as he is on his warm-up lap right now. iRacing can get very expensive for anyone out there watching. It definitely can. It's well worth it, though. It is a very fun simulator, and that is the key. It is a simulator. That is why, unfortunately, it is not very cheap. But definitely fun. Chris White going to run a 29.449 as he will put it to 4th place with a blistering fast time for him. We'll check in here. The only other car that is on the track right now is on pit road, and that is the 9 of Corey Walters. Not putting in a time, but I don't see any damage to the car either, so not sure what might happen there, but he's going to park it on pit road. So we'll get rid of your driver bar here. 2.5 minutes coming up on the clock. We have 10 drivers that have taken times here. So who will be the next one to come out? Will anybody? And it looks like it's going to be Scott Mann. So we'll pull up your driver bar for him and see what kind of times he is going to put in here for tonight's race. Again, he has been known to get the EOL. He wants that EOL. He wants to start in the back and fight his way. We'll see if he does that here tonight, as he has got a really good car. He's usually pretty fast, too, so we'll have to see. He is actually going to slow it to a stop here, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that information. We'll see if he goes back out onto the track. He is going to here with 1:59 to go, so we'll bring that information back up, and we'll see if he does complete his lap this time. And sometimes they don't qualify, sometimes they do. It's just what they like to do. Some of these guys like to start further back here towards the back of the field, so we'll definitely be watching, as this is the warm-up lap here for Scott Mann. And again, they still have 1:23, so they could get around here and get one lap in if they did it fairly quickly. They would have to come out now. It looks like Gerald Heffley is going to come out onto the track as we're watching again the 90 of Scott Mann in his Chevy Camaro trying to get around this track, and he is just there. He definitely will make it. This time I don't think Gerald Heffley is going to make it around for a lap to count, but here comes the 90 of Scott Mann to the line, and right there he will put in a time of a 29.408. This is going to be official time, 4th fastest, so he waited to the last minute but squeezed it in here. As right now you're watching the 61 of Gerald Heffley out on the track. I don't think he's going to be able to make it here. We'll see if this lap does count. He has 35 seconds left on the clock, and looks like he is going to take it to the bottom. He knows he's out of time, so that is not going to be able to make it. That is unfortunate, but your pole sitter here for tonight's race is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Taking pole right behind him on the outside, or beside him, is going to be A.J. Williamson. All right, well, we have just a few moments. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here for tonight's broadcast here on VRN from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, should be a good race here. As you see the ones that say chase driver under the name, that means they have a win here in the series, as that's going to do it. Your grid is coming up next. Again, it is going to be Jeff Stabnow on the pole for tonight's race. As soon as he gets on the grid, we'll go ahead and go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here in just a few moments. Jason, Allison, if you're still in chat, what days do you have free this week? If any at all. I know you've been definitely busy, but while we're looking for that, we'll go ahead and go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid on the pole here for tonight. In row 1 is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow with a 29.206. On his outside is going to be the number 2 of A.J. Williamson with a 29.248. On row 2, it's going to be the 29 of Mark Walls and the 90 of Scott Mann. Row 3 is going to be the 35 of Chris White and the 46 of Sean Breitzman. Row 4 is going to be the 7 of Brett Johnson and the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Row 5 is going to be the 30 of James Paulson and the 10 of Andy Vogt. Row 6 is going to be the 14 of Mike Peterson, and it's going to be the 21 of Jason Berg. Row 7 is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes and the 9 of Corey Walters. Row 8 is going to be the 58 of Stephen Paulson and the 33 of Josh Coley. Row 9 is going to be the 5 of James Thurston and the 8 of Gary Nichols. Row 10 is going to be the 28 of William Fletcher and the 12 of Brandon Peters. Row 11 is going to be the 26 of Ray Fournier and the 00 of Frank Harris. Row 12 is going to be the 91 of Scott Hutchinson and the 61 of Gerald Heffley. Row 13, rounding out your fields here for tonight's race, is going to be the 78 of Dan Stuzzi, who is actually not going to be starting the race here tonight. That will do it here for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. So Dan Stuzzi in the 78 and Scott Hutchinson in the 23 not going to be making it here to tonight's race for whatever reason that may have been. But those two drivers not going to be making it. Well, that is definitely not good. I have a feeling the new overlay rehaul is going to be a lot of work. Obviously, it's probably going to cost me a fortune, unfortunately. But we are looking to expand here, and I definitely think it's time for I don't know, it's called an overhaul, but a redo of it, what we already have, definitely to freshen things up and get some stuff organized just a little bit, as we have way too much stuff in there we don't necessarily use. But that being said, pace lights are off. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here for the first time, we're on lap 1 of 100, and it's going to be a great race. I can promise you that, folks. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. It's going to be a late night, but a good one, as Jeff Stabnow gets a solid lead there. Mark Walls behind him, followed by A.J. Williamson, Chris White, Sean Breitzman, John Ottenbacher right there. And what a battle it is going to be here. You have a four-way battle for second place right now. Who is going to come away with second place right now? It is the 29 of Mark Walls. He takes it away from A.J. Williamson very quickly, but this race is far from over, folks. Do not count anybody out just yet. We'll see how the cautions will play out. They're going to try to take it 3 wide for second place. Doesn't work out. They settle for 2 wide, but here they come. They're not done just yet. Go back here just a little bit. Look at the battle going on here. 3 wide back here for 6th place. John Ottenbacher right in the middle of all these guys in his very fancy Ford Camry there, as he couldn't decide which one he wanted to drive, so he decided he'd go with both. And we'll see. That is a heck of a battle going on right now for 6th position. Here comes the 21 of Jason Berg, and brand new driver here to the series. And again, with a 58-18 I rating, nearly 6,000 I rating. He has definitely been around iRacing quite a while and shown people how he does. We'll check on him and see how he does. Well, we'll see. I don't know what meh is, but hopefully that doesn't equivalent to $ out of my pocket too much. We'll see. But definitely we are shooting for 4K here to see what happens. But Jeff Stabnow out front leading this race. Chris White is in 3rd. Mark Wall 2nd. And what a run here, as we're going to switch over to our interval ticker just so you can see just how far these guys are apart. As it has been a very good run for Jeff Stabnow, as he would love to lock himself into the chase. As you see here, we'll pull up your driver bar. He is technically not locked into the chase just yet. He definitely wants to get up there and get locked into it if he can. The drivers that are currently somewhat locked in are Chris White. He has a win. And our other driver is Josh Coley, sitting back here in currently 16th place. So those 2 drivers do have wins. If they can stay in the top 16 in points and not miss more than 3 races, they will be locked in to the actual chase. So we'll be watching for that to see how it does. It's what a battle going on back here. We're going to zoom up just a little bit here. The battle for second place is between Chris White and Mark Walls. But not too terrible. Let's go back here to Sean Breitzman. A.J. Williamson is falling back here just a little bit. As I roll that up, he started in 2nd. He's dropped to 5th. He very well could be trying to save just a little bit. We'll see if that's the case. It looks like he's actually got some damage, so I don't think he's saving. I think he has damage. Let's go look at the left rear suspension. He's got quite a bit of damage back there to the back side of that. Look at the left front, not too much, so that is good. That he doesn't have any damage to that side, but definitely some damage to the rear and to the right front, and that is going to hinder him just a little bit. Look at the crowd he's got behind him right now, as here comes the 89 trying to get something done there, and he will be. I think that's John Ottenbacher. We'll see if he can get by him, but pass him. Not going to happen. Is he's actually going to be passed by the 21 of Jason Berg. So some really good battling here. I think the 2 of A.J. Williamson may be holding these guys up just a little bit with that damage. They do have a faster crit to use. He may not want to use it for such slight damage. And I say he's holding him up. He's actually not. He is pulling away from him now. Here comes the 21 trying to make something happen. John Ottenbacher's falling back just a little bit, back to 9th position, as he's stuck on the outside getting freight trained right now. And that is exactly opposite of what he wants. You do not want to be on the outside. We've heard the inside is the preferred line, and it is indeed the preferred line here for tonight's race. He's going to shuffle all the way to the top, and he will lose several spots. We'll see. Here comes the 9 of Corey Walters to the bottom side. Can he squeeze by? He will indeed. So John Ottenbacher now going to fall one more spot. And this is a huge battle going on here. But we want to go back up to the front here as look who has caught up to the back bumper of your leader. Jeff Stabnow is got company coming from the 29 of Mark Walls here early in this race. We're only on lap 11. We talked about early in the pre-race show. Anywhere from lap 10 to 15, these tires would fall off drastically. So these guys have got to get it going here if they want to get by someone. That is their key. We'll see, does he have the tires to get by? But somewhere around lap 20, these tires seem to come back to life again. You won't have the speed. However, you will have the handling, and that is the most important thing. Yeah, we did miss that. That was the 2 of A.J. Williamson, I believe, that scraped the wall. We did miss it there as they were jostling around quite a bit, so we do apologize for that. Trying to keep track of all of it is not easy by yourself. We'll give you that. It is difficult, but right now I thought Mark Walls was going to run down the leader here, but it looks like Jeff Stabnow has put it into a new gear and pulled away from his teammate in that 29 machine, Sean Brightsman, currently in the third, but Christopher White all over his back bumper. Hopefully animations would go okay in 4K. As we're going to go back here. Really, this is the battle we want to watch. There's a lot of stuff going on in front of these, but John Ottenbacher leading this group of about 7 or 8 cars. This is the best battle I think we have going on the track, as the 9 of Corey Walters and Gary Nichols in that 8 still trying to make something happen on the inside here. So right now it is being filled by John Ottenbacher in the 89. The 21 of Jason Berg is going to go to the outside with a damaged car. Can he make the pass? He does on the 89. And here comes the 4 of Prime Barnes. He's going to try to fill the hole as well and make the pass. And I think he may do it as they're coming out of the turn onto the backstretch. And he will. That's going to push John Ottenbacher back to 10th place now as Brian Barnes does get by him. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Jeff was saving it just a little bit. We're actually going back there to look in on that one as he is toying with his teammate here just a little bit. He'll save a little bit. Mark Walls will catch up, and then he hits the gas again and keeps going. So I definitely think he's probably toying with him a little bit here as he has a very, very fast car here tonight in that Chevrolet Camaro. So we'll see if he does. But here comes the 29 of Mark Walls to the inside. That is the last thing Jeff wanted to see, but not enough momentum as it's going to be the 24 at the line. He has now led 16 laps this time at the line as we have completed 16 on lap 17. Keep in mind, based on our fuel window, 35 to 38, going to be closer to the 37, 38 lap mark. We are getting very close here, 20 laps away from pit stop. So pit stop's going to be coming up here shortly. If we don't see a caution, they will be green flag pit stops. This could get interesting. We'll have to keep a very close eye on all of your leaders here. Last time we paid attention to someone running out of fuel and your leaders got tangled up and wrecked each other. Or I guess they wrecked each other. They were involved in a wreck, which ended up costing both of them a ton of track position. So we'll have to keep an eye on that to make sure nothing happens there. We got a lot to do here, I think, to get ready for 4K, and we would have to redo that as well, which shouldn't be too bad. I think we could save that or just get a new one. So we'll definitely look into that. Sean Brightsman, though, sitting in third place right now. He just can't quite get up to Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow. However, he has been able to pull away from the 35 of Chris White by just a hair. So we'll see if he's able to pull away any more, maybe catch up to those front two. But so far, caution free here in this race, as it has been a great race so far. Being caution free, there's little battles all over the place as John Ottenbacher almost gets into the door of the 33 of Josh Coley. Again, Josh Coley has a win on the series. As long as he can finish in the top 16 and not miss more than 3 races, he's locked in. So if you're here in chat, whether you're on the Facebook or the YouTube side of things, let us know who you are rooting for here tonight, or if you're just here for the racing in general. Definitely let us know. I know over on Facebook, see we got Matt Henry, Jack Wells, Alex Huffman, Brian Williamson, and Brandon Kaufman, Josh Coley, all those guys in there with us on the YouTube side. Of course, we have iBog over here, Kamikaze with us. We got Sarah with us. I know we had Ken with us as well. So anyone we missed, thanks for tuning in here tonight, as it has been a blast. Yeah, we'll see here right now. He has got his hands full with that car. Again, we talked about it earlier in the pre-race show. This car seems to be a tight setup here. So it definitely is something these guys have to work on. Try to loosen it up in any way they can, which is really going to just be how they run, because they can't do anything to this car as far as changing it. It is a fixed setup. So definitely it's going to be something they have to work for. And you got rooting for the winner. That's definitely a good strategy, I think. As we'll see, it looks like Sean Brightsman has cut up to Brett Johnson here. Can he get by him is the question. We're on lap 23 of 100. Again, pit stops coming up here on lap 37, 38. So we are closing in on that green flag pit stop run here coming up. So far, caution free here in the race. We'll go ahead and pull that up. Is 0 cautions for 0 caution laps. 78 laps to go. As we are again caution free here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Definitely some great racing here as you're watching a battle between Brett Johnson and Sean Brightsman. We're going to go back just a little bit here. AJ Williamson has kind of fallen off just a little bit to a 6th place. I say fall off. He could be very well saving to try to make something happen later in the run. That's just something we will have to just wait and see what does transpire here in the race. As it looks like Brian Barnes is going to get by him to drop into 7th place. And he has Corey Walters and Jason Berg coming up behind him. Oh, definitely thanks to everybody here. I know we got a lot of people in chat typing. That is good. We're always glad to have y'all here. As not much has changed up front. Let's go a little further back here so we can find going on. And really, as far as the battles themselves going, it has kind of settled itself out here. Not too terribly much going on. And right here's a good battle. You got the 33 of Josh Coley, Gary Nichols, James Paulson, and John Ottenbacher. Probably one of the closest battles going on for right now, which would be a 10th position. So we'll keep an eye on that. And going up a little bit, there is a battle between the 9 of Corey Walters and the 21 of Jason Berg. It looks like the 9 of Corey Walters is going to take that position away. To the 46, he is currently, we'll find him, he is currently 5th place right now, so just hasn't been able to get up to the leaders. Again, that of obviously the 46 of Sean Brightsman started 6th. He's actually one spot ahead of where he started. He just hasn't quite been able to get up to the race leaders here. As we'll zoom in there just a little bit to that car. He just hasn't been able to get up to the leaders, but he is indeed still here on the track. Just a little ways off of the front 4. That being said here, we're going to zoom back out. And we're going to go see if we can find a battle here. Looks to be the closest one at the moment. Josh Coley leading this group. Gary Nichols and Jason Berg still duking it out. So something drastically has to happen here for caution to come out. We are so spread out. I don't think even if a car spun, we might not get a caution. It would be a very touchy subject if we did. As we're on lap 29 of 100, we are now 10 laps away from pit stops, and we will be covering all of those pit stops here tonight. Question is, will we get a caution before pit stops come out? I don't think so. I think we're going to go caution free here for the entire race. Based on how they're doing right now, it is definitely going to turn out that way. All right, just checking chat there for a minute. Jeff Stabnow out front. Mark Walls in second, but that gap is kind of pulled away, 0.550 at the moment. So Jeff Stabnow definitely wants to stay out front. And now let's go back here and look at Corey Walters, who has his hands full right now with A.J. Williamson. That is a battle for currently 7th position on the track, as where A.J. wants to get it, and we'll see if he can do it. He's got his work cut out for him, as obviously Corey Walters is not going to hand that spot over without a fight. We'll be watching all of this here. Pit stops coming up here in 8 laps. What will happen is pit stops do ensue as we got lap cars coming into the picture here. That is the 14, I do believe, that they are coming up on. It is indeed the 14 of Mike Peterson. That is currently 20th spot. He is now 1 lap down. As your leaders are going to get by him very quickly here. First and second have done so. Third place, Chris White has a long way to go before he catches this lap car. So he would love to get up there and get a second win here this season. But so far, not going to be happening as Jeff Stabnow is on rails. Well, we'll see how this one does work out. Looks like we have somebody coming down pit road already, and we're going to get down to him. That is going to be Sean Breitzman here, currently 33 laps in, so short pitting it here tonight. That is not something we expected, maybe 35, but not 38 laps or 33 laps. This could get very interesting, and nobody else is coming down here with him. That is notable, as he is going to take, looks like 4 tires and fuel. Nobody else coming down the pit road. Alright, he's going to come back out on to the track, and he will go 1 lap down before it's all said and done. And it looks like now we have Ray Fournier coming in that 26 machine, as he is going to pull it into his pit stall and get his service underway. We'll keep an eye on that, see what kind of times he does, but it looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop. And here comes more people locking up the brakes there just a little bit. Going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes coming down pit road, as well as John Ottenbach coming down pit road, and Stephen Paulson going to be coming down pit road as well. So 3 more drivers going to come down pit road and make something happen here tonight. We'll see. It looks like Jeff Stabnow is going to come down pit road as well. So far, so good here for pit stops. Nobody making any major mistakes. Again, as this would be costly, it is green flag pit stops. So you have to be extremely careful not to make any mistakes on a pit road. Well, we'll see. It's kind of cycling out here. Chris White is your leader, and he's going to bring it down pit road as well. As we'll see, and now your leader is possibly. We'll see. He's going to come in as well. William Fletcher is currently being scored as your race leader. We'll see how it all cycles out. When it's all said and done, it looks like Chris White will be your race leader once again here. That is, once again, he has led 1 lap, so Chris White will be your leader once again when it's all said and out. And actually, right now, the 2 of A.J. Williamson is being shown ahead of him, so this could get very interesting now as everyone is starting to come down pit road. There go the last of them down pit road to get their service complete. James Thurston and William Fletcher going to be your last 2 drivers to come down. And James Thurston is being scored as your race leader. He's going to miss his pit stall, have to back up twice. He has to back up And we'll see this time he will get his service, so that is going to definitely hurt him here as Mark Walls will regain the lead. I say regain, he'll gain the lead. He has not had it at all here tonight. I thought he'd led a lap, but he has not. So he will take the lead here. So Mark Walls, after green flag pit stops, is your race leader. And I want to note here that they pitted on lap 33. We were told 38 laps. Everybody was short pitting here on this stop. So very interesting call, the short pit. We'll see what is going to happen here. The 14 of Mike Peterson, a threat to go a lap down here. We'll take a minute here to update you, to let you know here on, we're coming up on lap 40. Brandon Peters is out of the race. Jason Berg's out of the race. Not sure what happened to these guys. Scott Mann out of the race. Scott Hutchinson didn't start, and Dan Susie did not start. No cautions have come out, so I'm not sure what happened to get these guys out of the race. Something definitely happened though, but right now that eludes us, as we did not have a caution there for 3 cars, so they must have been off the racing surface. We'll see. Mark Walls definitely had a fantastic pit stop here. 14.1 seconds. Your second fastest time would be a 14.2, but that was third place. Second place did not run that kind of time, so that is probably why he was able to get by. Somebody definitely has to get by here. We'll see how it is going to be. Mark Walls out front. Jeff Stabnow sitting in second place right now. Sean Breitzman third. Chris White fourth. And Brian Barnes in fifth. Just a typical day. These are the same drivers we typically see up there. So we'll have to keep an eye. But I want to know what happened to Brandon Peters and Jason Berg. Scott Mann, to get those guys out of the race. If we get a chance, maybe we'll talk to one of these drivers and see what might have happened, as the chat has really thinned out and we do not have a caution. That's when we'll be able to talk to them, as that whatever did happen did not bring out a caution. So that being said, here we're going to zoom out just a little bit here. Actually, we're going to go way out and get a shot here. Let's go to our backstretch cam. It's a different view. You can see just how spread out these guys are. There goes the 4 of Brian Barnes, currently sitting in 5th place, and they are really spread out here at the moment. So, very interesting to see how this one plays out here. Will we have any cautions at this rate? I don't think we're going to. It has been a really good race, caution-free so far, and we heard, from a lap 10 to 15, the tires go really bad, but then around 20 they come back in, and they're showing here those tires are definitely coming in for them, as they are able to make something happen here later in the run. But again, about lap 20 when the tires start to come back, 18 laps later, actually 13 is when they came in, they come down and pit here. So everyone on track has completed their first round of pit stops. That being said, currently Gerald Heffley, Frank Harris, and Mike Peterson are the only ones at least a lap down. Mike Peterson 2 laps down. So as they stand, Gerald Heffley would be set to get the lucky dog here in that number 61 machine. Doesn't even have a paint job on his car here tonight, just a black with the white number 61. So he is looking to get sponsored for any series, I'd imagine. So if you're looking to sponsor a channel, definitely hit him up. That's be interesting to see how he finishes. He's been having some pretty good runs here. Hopefully he can get some sponsors on that car soon. See, he definitely drives very well. John Ottenbacher sitting in 15th place right now, not having the run I think he wanted here, as we'll pull his information up. He started 8th, he's fallen back to 15th. Definitely not the run he was expecting to have here. as he is definitely falling back a little bit. William Fletcher started 19th up to 14th, so he has definitely made progress. And speaking of progress, as we go back up to your race leader here and we zoom out just a little bit, let's pull up your race progress here so far. Yeah, looks like negative 14 is going to be the 2 that has lost the most positions here. It looks like the 26 is our biggest gainer here, and that is going to be Ray Fournier. So Ray Fournier, your biggest gainer here as far as positions. He has gained 10 positions since the start of this race, from 21st to 11th. So big shout out to Ray Fournier for doing that. That's again, caution free so far. Everyone's really spread out at the moment. Not a whole lot of battling going on here on the track. We'll take a look here and see. There's just not a whole lot going on. While there's not much going on the track here, we are going to step away for a quick commercial break here, and we will be right back here. If a caution comes out, we will come in and we're at the halfway point. So we're going to step away for the quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Singing about that something you can understand and what you do to your man. I left my side and I'll do just what I can. I don't really matter, I don't really care. Singing about that something that you might understand, 'cause I do everything I can and I said, baby, 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 you got me on my knees. Everything about you, Lord, I'm ready to see now. Say it. Now, I can't believe he flow. I just now. I can't believe he flow. Now, I can't believe he flow. I just now. I can't believe, yeah.
All right, we are back here. That was a quick mid-race commercial here as we are on lap 52 of the 100, caution-free thus far. We'll see, will we have another, or have a caution period? I don't think we're going to have any here, as not much has changed. We'll go ahead and run through your top 5 right now as of lap 52. It is Mark Walls in that 29 machine that has been out front here for 15 laps. Behind him is the 24 Jeff Stabnow, who has led 34 laps. Right behind him is the 35 of Chris White, who has led 1 lap here tonight. And right behind him in fourth is going to be the 46 of Sean Brightman, who has not led any laps. And fifth place will be to the 4 of Brian Barnes, who has worked his way up very from the back here. Well, sort of back, I guess. We'll take a look here to Brian Barnes as we'll get up close to his car. Pull up his driver information. He started 13th. He is up to 5th. Again, 25 drivers here, 23 started. So about mid-pack, closer to the back, but he has fought his way up to 4th or 5th place now in that 4 machine. Definitely a big shout out to him for doing so. Corey Walters just on the outside of the top right now in 6th place in that number 9 machine. Started 14th up to 6th place. He'd love to get a top 5. I'm sure top 3 would be even better. He is definitely driving that car for everything it's worth here tonight, and a good run he is doing so far. One of your winners here, Josh Coley in the 33, sitting in 7th position right now, so we'll pull that back up. He started 16th. He is up to 7th, so he has gained several spots here tonight. It looks like he's going to try to get by one more. He may have been already ahead of him, so that position is going to officially be his for 7th, as it was not 100% sure he was going to get it, but he does indeed get it here in that 33 machine. Again, there is our other race winner here that has secured his spot, at least for the most part, into the chase coming up here in just a little bit. Again, for anyone that missed it earlier, the way the chase works, you get a win, you're in. But if you miss 3 races, you have to work your way in on points. And even if you get the win, you have to stay within the top 16 in points. So that is how that works, and it's tougher than it sounds to get a win and stay within the top 16 in points. There's a lot of competitiveness going on in this league, so we'll see how it does. There is the 29-year race leader, Mark Walls. Not looking back, doesn't look like he has any intention of slowing down anytime soon. We're on lap 22 of this stint. Again, going to be 23 this time by. We have about 10 laps or so from when they think they should come down pit road. Another about 5 before they have to come down pit road. So everybody on that last stint did short pit. 33 laps. They can go 38. So everybody short pitting it here. It looks like they're going to try to break this up into possibly 2 stops. Well, yeah, it's something we have to keep an eye on. Will somebody short pit even shorter than that, or will somebody spin out and really shake things up here? That's all the things we have to look for. But right now, again, caution free here in the race. As you're watching your race leader here for just a minute, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And go back here again. It's about William Fletcher back in 15th. John Ottenbacher still trying to get by him, just unable to. As he has just been struggling a little bit here tonight in that 89 machine. Trying to hang on to every position he can. Just can't quite find the grip on this track that his teammates can. I'm sure they're talking to him and assuring him he will get to the front. He's a fast driver. He's just got to find out exactly where the groove is that these guys are running, as it can be different for each person depending on your driving style. Even the car setup is the same. It looks like he's going to get by William Fletcher and take 14th position, 15th, sorry. AJ Williamson currently has 14th position tied up at the moment, so we'll see if anybody can get by him. So we'll see. Well, definitely watching this here, as we're trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. Alright, so again, we're watching all over this field here. Not too terribly much going on here. I think some of these guys would really stand to see a caution. They almost want to see one at this point to regroup this field, but we're watching the 00 have a really good run here on the 7, as we'll keep an eye on that. And actually, that is Frank Harris, who is currently 1 lap down and all over the back bumper of the 7 of Brett Johnson. So he has definitely still got a fast car, even though he's a lap down. Not sure how he went the lap down this early in the race. It must have been just by getting past. Definitely showing he could be a little faster. If he was on the lead lap, I think he'd probably get by that 7 and possibly even the 33 of Josh Coley. So that's something to keep an eye on, to see maybe later on tonight if he can progress through this field once these tires start to wear off. We're at the point here, 28 laps on the stint, where these tires have started to come back into their not really grip, but they have something in them here that allows them to just keep going, as we are now about 4 laps away from green flag stops, assuming they short pit again. That's something we didn't expect there earlier. Everyone was telling us 38 laps. They pit around 33, so they definitely short pit from the start of the race. So I did not expect that. Then again, these guys are known for throwing some curveballs at us. Well, we'll see. We're keeping an eye on all of this here. Not much going on at the front. 1.4 seconds here, as that will be our driver coming down. The first one going to be Jeff Stabnow coming down pit road. What kind of pit stop will he have? Hopefully it's going to be a good one for him, as he's going to come down and we're going to stay on board with him. Perfect stop, as he will get some right side tires And will he get left sides as well? I would imagine he would. These tires are just not good enough to hang on. And there go the left sides. And it looks like we have Chris White having some connection issues there. He gets off with a 15.2 second stop. And here comes what was your leader of Mark Walls down pit road. We'll watch him make sure everything goes well with the 29 here for his pit stall. And he stops it a little short and keeps going. I wouldn't say a perfect stop, but a fairly good one there, as he does almost stop a little bit too early, but he's going to take 4 tires and fuel, and he is off 14.2 seconds. And we have Gary Nichols coming in. It looks like he's going to get to a fairly good stop there. Ray Fournier in as well, and John Ottenbacher coming down, and he's going to stop perfectly in his stop. Chris White coming down pit road. Assuming these guys don't pit, it looks like everyone's going to have a fairly clean stop. The 35 comes to a stop, and we'll see who is going to be next. It is going to be Brett Johnson coming down to get his service here. And good stop for him. And so we're going to go to William Fletcher, who also coming down pit road, has some damage already to that car, but he is going to get into his pit stall here and not have to back up, I don't think. So it looks like he has that pit stop made here. Brian Barnes on pit road in the Ford machine. We'll check in with his pit stop here, make sure everything goes well. It does indeed. He has to sit there, get some tires and fuel. And looks like Andy Vogt in the 10 is going to come down pit road. Everybody is cycling through so far. Corey Walters has not come down, as well as Sean Brightsman, James Paulson, Stephen Paulson, A.J. Williamson has not come down, and James Thurston has not come down. It looks like, my math correct, Frank Harris has not come down, and he hits the wall there, almost gets a little out of shape. And he somehow recovers from that right as we go to him. And there goes James Paulson in that 30 with a little bit of damage coming down at pit road. And it looks like the 2 of A.J. Williamson's going to come down on pit road as well. So we're keeping a close eye on all of these guys that have been fast to make sure no mistakes are made on the pit road. And it looks like a solid stop there. Corey Walters going to be coming down pit road in 9. He will give up second place here, and we're gonna just keep an eye and see how these all cycle out here. Stephen Paulson out on or off the track on the pit road as well. That looks like a solid stop for him. We'll keep an eye on it just to see and make sure how it all does end up playing out, as he will come down. And there goes Sean Brightsman giving up the lead to come down at pit road, and that will conclude pit stops when he completes his. Make sure nothing goes haywire for him, as he is going to again give up the lead here to come down to pit road. No caution so far here. 72 laps in. Good stuff for him. And look who's your new leader once again. That is the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, as our second round of green flag pit stops have been completed. Just an outstanding run for everybody here tonight. Hopefully you guys are enjoying chat out there, enjoying the race out in chat, as it has been a fantastic race so far. Caution free. Your front 3 are very fast drivers here. That is Jeff Stabnow, Mark Walls, and Chris White. Those are your top 3 right now. 1.4 seconds separating first and second, and 9.3 seconds separating first from third place. Now, some of the drivers, they may go through a few pit boxes there. I don't sure if they have a rule on that or not. Sometimes they do it here. While we're watching the leader here, we do want to thank everybody for showing up. I know it's a little late, going on 12 a.m. here Central Time. Looks like we got Brandon Kaufman in chat, John Van Varellis joining us on the Facebook side of things. So thanks for tuning in over there. And everyone tuning in on the YouTube side of things as well, whichever one you're on. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to pull up our caution chart here. As we've said, a big goose egg here for cautions. We have had 0 cautions for 0 laps, 26 laps to go. That means here on this stint, we have 9 on this stint, plus 26. that adds up to borderline being able to make it here as rough math. As we'll do it here in a second. They are fixing to be on their 10th lap. So this is going to get really close here. They should be able to make it. There it is. 10 laps on this stint. 25 to go. That's going to put them at 35. They should be able to make it. So that explains the short pitting here. 33. 33 and 35. Oh, that is why they came in when they did. They're going to break it up into a 2-stop race on lap 33, roughly around 60-ish, whatever. And then the final stint here will take us all the way to the end of the race, as we are coming up on 20 laps to go here shortly. This race has ticked away very quickly. We again had a 20-minute pre-race show. We have only been live for an hour and 25 minutes here on the air. So just about an hour of that on the race itself as the leaders coming out of 4. Andy Vogt right now running down Jeff Stabnow. But just to note here, Andy Vogt is 1 lap down. Not for long, though. He's going to work his way back onto the lead lap the hard way. Jeff Stepdown has no reason to try to battle here with him. He's a lap down. Let him go. The more you battle with him, the more it's going to slow you down and eat up those tires. You don't want to do that, so your best bet is to let him go. However, not letting him go, that is a bit of a cushion between you and the 29. So there's 2 different strategies you can go here with, but it looks like he is going to let him go. And what a battle it's starting to be here for the lead, as here comes the 29 at Mark Walls trying to make something happen. The rule is you win and you're in, and right now either one of these guys would love to get a win here, as your 2 winners so far here in this series are Chris White and Josh Coley. And most note here, Chris White won the pole at Indianapolis, and he also won the race. Last week, Jeff Stabnow won the pole. Josh Coley won the race. So he has a need to get a win here. I'm sure either one of them would love to get it, but both of them really need it if they want to get in there. And you're right there, the 29 is coming. It's just a matter of time. That's why we're watching this lead here, this battle here. It is for the lead, as we do not want to leave it here, as it has turned into a really good battle going on here. We got a lot of separation from these guys. Is imagine first to second went from 1.4 seconds to 0.1, now 0.133. So that gap has shrunk dramatically. So anyone that's watching, you're in for a really good battle here tonight, as these two have always been racing really close together. And we'll see how they do here tonight, as Mark Wall's going to take to the high side here and try to make something happen. Try to pinch him down. Ooh, Jeff Stabnow is having none of that. He is going to say, nope, I'm staying where I want to go. And he is hanging on to this lead for everything he has right now. And he's doing a fantastic job of that. 19 laps to go. We have less than 20 to go here in your race. Who will come out? Will it be the 24? Will it be the 29? Or will somebody sneak in there like the 25 or the 35 and come in here and make something happen? Sean Bright's been having some connection issues right now. That is the last thing he wants to see. But again, there is the battle for the lead. We don't want to deviate too far from that, as we'll keep an eye on that scoring there on the top 3. You can see 0.166, but we want to go back here a little ways and check in with some of these people, as you got the 35 of Chris White just got by the 58. Again, that is Steven Paulson, who is 1 lap down. There are only 10 cars on the lead lap, and that is important here to note, because if a caution was to come out here with only 10 cars on the lead lap, you probably are going to want to come in here and get some tires. Maybe just 2, maybe 4, I don't know. But I would imagine that you would have somebody come down, or you may have some fakers if a caution comes out. And that's a big if. With everyone as spread out as they are, I don't think we would actually see one. It could get a little hairy if we did, if these guys stay out on these older tires. But then again, on the flip side, as we've said twice now already, once you hit about 20 to 22 laps in these tires, they kind of get a second life into them, and you're able to drive. You're not able to have the speed, so definitely the speed is gone. But you do have the ability to handle a little bit, so that is something that you've got to watch for and be looking out for. However, we have not had a caution. How will these tires handle if you get a caution and there's 20 plus laps on them and you have to reheat them after cooling them? We have not seen that scenario here in the races. We have not had any cautions. So if a caution was to come out here and we go racing again, that's something we want to watch. As again, you're watching the battle for the lead right now at 0.066 seconds away from taking the lead. It's not so much luck so far now, 0.133. And let's take another little look back here and see what we got going on. Not a whole lot going on here as far as racing action going on for passing anyone, so that is why we're hanging up there with the leaders here, as there's just not a whole lot of passing going on in the back here. And there come your leaders. These guys are actually starting to put more and more cars lap down, so they've got to be very careful. While we have a moment here, let's go on board with the 29 of Mark Walls. I'm going to switch over to him, and if we can find it, there we go. Let's go on board here with your new leader onboard camera for Wicked Chassis Racing, the number 29, Mark Walls. And you can see just what he's trying to do here to run down your leader, just not quite able to do so. And you'll get a first-hand experience here, what it's like to be him behind the wheel. So we'll actually switch over here to his helmet camera, as he is still trying to fight it. And this is a really good battle. Again, we're watching from onboard on the helmet cam here from the 29 of Mark Walls, trying to get by the 24, and he may use that lap car as a pick here. Again, I believe that is the 8 of Gary Nichols. It is. So we'll see how they get around the 8 of Gary Nichols. They both want to get by. Jeff Stepnow cannot get up to the high side. If Jeff gets too high up, that will allow the 29 to get by him, and Jeff's going to take it to the bottom. Just not quite able to get by the 8 of Gary Nichols, but he is definitely digging as hard and fast as he can, as he is going to take it to the bottom. These guys are fighting to stay on the lead lap right now, some of them anyway. Gary Nichols is already one lap down, so he's not fighting to stay on the lead lap, but he definitely doesn't want to go any more laps down, as he's one lap down right now. Again, that was the helmet camera here, as we're going to switch back to our main camera here. Oh, and contact. Mark Walls goes around. The 8 goes around. Caution is out right as we leave there. Let's go back and see what happened to the 29 of Mark Walls. What happened here to the 29 of Mark Walls? We were just riding on board with him here, and something went wrong here. Let's switch over to this camera, see if we can get a good shot of this. Something involving the 61, the 8, and the 29. Oh, the 24 narrowly avoids that one, as that was bad. The 61, I think, got into the wall, as we have 9 laps to go. Let's go back and take another look at that. And let's go here to the, we can't get a good shot of this. It's just not a very good camera here. Let's see if we can get a good shot. Here we go. We'll go to our center field camera there. See the 61 is what we're watching, sitting in front of this group here on the replay. Oh, the 8 gets into the 61, barely clips the 20. 1 and 2 lap cars. The 61 of Gerald Heffley and the 8 of Gary Nichols battling for position. That was a valid battle there. They were battling for a position, and they just ended up getting it together there, collecting your second place car. He's going to get in and get his fast repair done here, and the 24 probably will beat him out. He does beat him out of pit road. Jeff Stabnow still going to be your race leader here. Let's go on board with him real fast, and we'll pull him up here and just see what it was like from his perspective, as we will be right back. And Randall, welcome to chat, and we're going to go grab him real quick. Jeff Stabnow, you got a copy?
I got you, Charles.
Well, we want to know here, first off, what was going through your mind there as you narrowly avoided that. May got a little scrape on the door panel.
I believe this is a PG broadcast, Charles, so I refuse to incriminate myself.
Oh, that was definitely, it had to be a scary moment there. Mark, unfortunately, getting involved in it. We may try to talk to him too, but just a crazy scenario there. I don't know. It's a tough decision. You don't really, I don't know if we want to say those two were at fault. They were racing for position as well as you two racing for position, but just an all-around, just, a bad deal for Mark. But how much damage, if any, did you get from that?
Oh, I had to burn a fast repair on that. I don't know how much damage it was. I definitely had damage, and wasn't going to find out here, as we're probably going to have about 5 to go here when we go green. What I didn't want was everybody catching up, because this, I think, was going to come down to Mark and I thought I might have had the better long run. Not sure how I sit short run, though.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he can get to you now. He's going to be starting third, so he will be on the inside, so he will be on there on the inside. And it seems like, from what we've seen here, the inside line has been where you want to be. If you get on the outside, you kind of almost get like a Daytona move, and you get kind of freight trained. Is that pretty much what it's been like from your perspective down there at the track?
Well, it is on fresh tires for sure. You can carry a lot more speed on the inside of that corner when the tires are fresh, and that being a shorter way around the track is the preferred way when they're fresh. But when we get about 10 laps in or so on these tires, it's kind of a coin toss. I held off a couple guys on the high side there. I just kind of prefer driving that inside line. I got a little rhythm there, but I think for the next 5 laps, the inside's where it's going to be.
Well, definitely, I think so too. We'll see when we go racing. This will be a white flag or a yellow flag will end the race. So quickly, you're coming up on the backstretch. Any shout out you want to give before we let you go to get this restart going?
Hey, as always, a big shout out to my teammates. Mark and I having a blast up here doing each other. Walls Beard Co., of course. Also Mark, and then VRN, Charles. You do just a fantastic job. Can't thank you enough.
All right. Well, hopefully have some luck. If we do, we'll get your Grammy speech here in a little bit, and we'll see you in a few. All right, that was the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. And for anyone that's new here to the channel, that is a inside joke that we have around here for the Grammy speech. He definitely has a lot of sponsors and a lot of people that put in a lot of time to get this thing going. So that is why it may be a long speech, but it is definitely needed. There are a ton of people that make this series happen here. There it is. Green flag's out. 5 laps to go here in the race, and we are battling. Jeff Stabnow gets a huge jump, and that's what he wants to do and needed to do if he wants to get away from the rest of these guys battling here. Look at the group behind him, though. You got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, even 9th place back here battling. So here's your top 10 on the track, all grouped together here with coming up to 4 to go. Oh, we got a car going around. Chris White gets into the wall, and so far no caution. Caution is out. This race is over. 4 laps to go. It is done. Jeff Stabnow coming home with the win. Mark Walls and Brian Barnes. We're going to go back and look here as Chris White gets into the outside wall, bringing out the caution, as we'll go back and take a look. Once again, our only 2 cautions coming out here in the later laps of this race, and it's the second one going to be for the 35 of Chris White. Smacks the wall right there, gets the 7 collected of Brett Johnson. They both go spinning through the grass, dirt flying everywhere, And that will do it here for tonight's race. Those two had both really good runs. Chris White ended up finishing 9th. And Brett Johnson going to end up finishing, I'm not sure where he is going to finish. So we'll try to find him here. He is going to be in 13th place. As we'll go back to live. 3 laps to go. Jeff Stabnow, your unofficial race winner here tonight. It has been a fantastic race. Not the way we wanted to end it here under caution. But, you know, sometimes it just happens that way. As will be and getting a little celebrating there from his teammate already. Here they're coming up on 2 to go. We're actually going to step away here to a quick commercial break. We come back, we'll have your unofficial race results followed by the rest of your post-race show. Alright, we are back just in time, folks, as the checkered flag is waving. And right there, your race winner will be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, bringing it home for his first win, and that will lock him in to the chase. I'm sure he won't miss 3 races, and he will definitely be in the top 16 in points. So he has, for all intents and purposes, locked in to this chase. Again, caution may not be how he wanted to do it, but he did it. So he will be locked into the chase. To go through your unofficial race results here for tonight's race very quickly before we get to the post-race show. Coming away with the win is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, followed by the 29 of Mark Walls in second. Third place will be the 4 of Brian Barnes. Fourth place will be the 46 of Sean Brightsman. And fifth place will go to the 9 of Corey Walters. Sixth place will go to Josh Coley. Seventh place, Andy Vogt. Eighth place, James Paulson. Ninth place, Chris White. And then 10th place will go to Ray Fournier. 11th place will go to Stephen Paulson. 12th place will go to James Thurston. 13th place will go to Brett Johnson. 14th will go to AJ Williamson. And 15th will go to John Ottenbacher. 16th will go to William Fletcher. 17th, Gary Nichols. 18th, Gerald Heffley. 19th will go to Frank Harrison. 20th will go to Mike Peterson. 21st will go to Brandon Peters. 22nd, Jason Berg. 23rd, Scott Mann. And at 24th and 25th, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the post-race show, and what a race it was for sure. As we're going to go ahead and put up your results there, and we have your top three here in the booth to talk to them real fast as we'll pull up the information here for third place, and that is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes, and we'll go over his stuff real quick. Obviously, the number 4 started 13th. Finished third, so you gained 10 spots since the start of the race. You did lead one lap too, so I think you get a bonus point for that if I'm not mistaken. So if you do, you got one lap led, you got that bonus point. But a terrific run here from 13th to 3rd. What was this track like here? We talked earlier, people were saying the setup was tight and the turn 4 wall would be a problem, but for most of this race, basically until the very end, we were caution free here tonight.
Yeah, no, it was a little tight. I ripped a couple STP stickers off the side of my car on turn 4 there, but it wasn't too bad overall. Looking at the results here, I got to congratulate Ray for the hard charger. He got me by 1, looks like there, but it was an overall fun race, man. Corey following me up through there was a lot of fun battling him.
Well, definitely it was fun watching you work your way through this field. When it came to qualifying here, we saw quite a few people get into the wall during qualifying. I don't recall if you did or not, but were you one of them that got into the wall in qualifying? Is that why you were a little further back? Was it just a handful during qualifying and you just had to fight it all night long?
No, actually, I didn't qualify, kind of my normal, but I didn't get much of a rear start. Put me right in the middle of the thing, so we need more people to qualify so I can get out back further. Or I guess I could request that end of line, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you did or not. I knew a lot of people didn't, but I couldn't remember if you were one of them because you did start in midfield here, which is not normal. We had a lot of people not qualify. But regardless of where you started, it's where you finish in the end, and you finished 3rd place here, so it's a good points night for you. So do you have any sponsors on the car or anyone out there watching you just want to give a shout out to?
No, hopefully my old crew chief's still watching. Shout out to him. Hopefully maybe I can get him back into this. Congrats, Jeff, for the win. That was a nice win, bud.
Definitely congrats on the 3rd place finish. And Jason, if you're in chat, let us know if the sound's gone. It is coming through on our end here, so I'm not sure what's going on, if it's still not there or not. But in 2nd place, that is going to be the 29 of Mark Walls. You had a really good run here tonight. You started 3rd, finished 2nd. You led 28 laps. I think it would have been a really, really close race between you and Jeff had that last caution not come out. Do you think you would have been able to get back by him?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think there were enough laps. That was a good short run, but it had to be a couple in a row, and that came down to the wire. He really got me on pit road. He pit a lap before me that final stint to the end, and got him right where he needed to be, and it was hard to get back up there.
Oh, definitely, it was a battle here. And real quick, before we get into that, a little bit more of that detail stuff, I believe you have a fan out there. We got some of the chat saying bearded brother out there, so it looks like you got some fans out in chat tonight. So definitely a heck of a race, especially in those closing laps when we did have that one caution. So in your perspective, your thoughts on it, did you want that caution to kind of regroup and, get a breather? As this race went, I believe 70 some odd laps, maybe 80 some odd laps caution free. So did you kind of welcome that first caution, maybe not so much the second?
No, I didn't want to see it at all. Might have had a better shot if it went green versus some yellows, so I always like to see that long run play out. It's on the driver, makes a mistake or gets caught in lap traffic the wrong way. It's pretty easy to close up. So would have preferred that long run.
Well, definitely we were headed that way. Unfortunately, the caution come out the first time. Obviously, you were involved in it there with some lap cars. Little deal going there. Again, we won't dissect that too much. It did happen. You got in, got a fast repair, you finished second, so good points tonight for you here overall to keep yourself in that top 16 for the chase. So, same question, any sponsors and shout-outs you want to give here for that second place finish?
Yeah, we got to thank Walls Beard Co., sponsoring the race for us, helping out with the series, and I thank VRN for putting on awesome shows for us to go back and watch, and I think we put on a good one caution, pretty awesome for Charlotte, so definitely going back and watching this one for sure. Jeff was extremely fast, so he got that one. Now it's his turn.
Definitely very fast here, and we're just going to hand the mic over to Jeff so he can have the Jeff and Jeff show, and we're going to go grab a drink real quick. But in all seriousness, Jeff, what a race. You put that Walls at Beard Co. Chevrolet on the pole, and you won the race. So last week you got the pole and just couldn't get it into victory lane. Josh Coley got it. This week you came in, again, got the pole, got the win. You led 63 laps in dominant fashion. So what is it like to be sitting in victory lane knowing that you probably won't miss 3 races? You're going to be in the top 16. So for all intents and purposes, you are locked in to that chase now.
Well, it's definitely a monkey off the back, and with this crew, man, we got so many good guys out here tonight. I'd have been happy with a top 10. So to get the win with this crew, I mean, you got Scott Mann, the new guy Jason Berg out here, Sean Braspin's back, Chris White as usual, Mark Bryan. I mean, it's yes, there's at least 10, 15 guys out there, Josh Coley, capable of getting a win at any time. So really tough crew, and just happy as heck to be in Victory Circle here. And like I told Mark when we were pacing there, it's nice to have the monkey off the back and lock up a playoff spot here, at least assuming something doesn't happen, I don't have to miss a bunch of races.
Well, definitely. Hopefully nothing does happen there. I know we've had some computer issues you had to deal with, but it looks like we got those sorted out. So we'll knock on some wood for that one. But again, not only do you have that monkey off your back, you've got the win. Again, assuming nothing major happens, you are in the chase as far as we're concerned. Does it add any pressure, though, knowing you have that win? So you're in the chase, but now knowing that you're in it, excuse me, I lose my voice there. Do you still have that pressure later on in the season? Not necessarily right now, knowing that you're the defending champion and you've got to try to make it back-to-back now?
I don't think there's any pressure for that. I mean, like I said, this crew's so good, and with Sean and Mark pretty much running this full-time this year, I almost consider myself an underdog for the championship. Mark's so damn good. Sean with these fixed sets, he's incredible. And then we got the same tough guys we had last year. A couple new guys, Josh Coley, man, he's so much better. Yeah, I don't feel pressure there. I think we're competitive, and I come out here and line up next to Mark, Sean, John, my teammates, everybody else, Brian. Man, I just want to win. I don't care if I'm in the playoffs or trying to get in the playoffs. The desire to win each and every race is the same.
Well, definitely, it's a great time every time we come out here to see what happens and how everything stacks up and how it finishes. It's just a blast to watch. With that being said, we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be here for that victory, locking yourself into the chase?
Well, first of all, I got to give a big shout-out to Mark Walls. What a battle we had the entire night. And, if that thing goes green, I don't know. If I'd have had him, I thought maybe I might have had a little better long run, but man, he'd run me down from about a second and a half there. I blew my first pit stop. Had to use a little pit strategy to get the lead back, and man, he just ate that cushion up. Just a fantastic battle. We were pretty evenly matched tonight, so just big shout out to Mark, and then the rest of the teammates, John and Sean, just such a joy to run around. Hang out with, makes this so much fun. The guys in the series, man. Even practice is fun with the guys in this series, with the truck races and this. Just amazing. The Northwest Club, I got to say, hands down the best club on the iRacing service. Just kind of a sense of community in there, so we really enjoy that. And then, there's our sponsors, Charles. This would not be possible this year without all the hard work that you're putting in there in VRN. So just thank you so much. And then Walls Beard Co. Been supporting this series forever, and this year they don't have a whole lot of help, so big shout out to Walls Beard Co. too. Just amazing partners, amazing crew that we run with, so just lucky to be here.
All right, definitely. We're glad to be on board this year and last year. In the foreseeable future, we're going to be here forever because you just can't get rid of us. But that being said here, we have to thank all the sponsors as well on the racing side of things. Of course, as he just said, ourselves here at VRN, we're glad to be here for this season as a partner. And, of course, Walls Beard Co. pulling double duty. Not only are they part of the series in this league, they are also part of the broadcast as well. So big shout out to Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. If you have a beard, you need to take care of it with the all natural and organic products. So head on over to wallsbeardco.com to pick that up. And of course, simspeedshop.com. If you need a button box or an e-brake, you can pick up one or both of those items at simspeedshop.com. Northwest Racing Series is your official one-to-go sponsor here for VRN, so make sure you check them out. Obviously, you just got done watching their Xfinity Series, and Wednesday night we'll be back with the Truck Series as some more great battling will heat up once again. Ohio IndyCar League. If you're looking to get into some IndyCar racing, head on over there to facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League to get all the latest information. iBog, iRacing Broadcasts, Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphics source. Definitely, if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays for streaming, head on to ibog.co and get a hold of Jason Allison. And Randy's Wraps. If you need a paint job done here on iRacing to stand out from the crowd, there is no better place to do so than Randy's Wraps. So make sure you head on to Facebook and check that out as well. That will do it here for tonight's broadcast. This morning, technically it's 12:18, as it is a late night here. We're glad to be here on VRN, as we'll get rid of that. Sorry about that. That will do it here for tonight's race. We'll see you tomorrow night with the Race Core Truck Series, as that series gets closer and closer to wrapping up and we crown a champion. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you there.